Just to remind everybody that language usage and content that we provide here may be disturbing, disgusting, probably will be and should be. Words like bloody custard and words that rhyme with that may be featured. Actually will be featured. In fact, perhaps will only be featured. Just warning you.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Brought to us by Gourmet It Up, partners with the best restaurants in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore and Pune, theindianbean.com. Coffee for everyone. Also, please let us know what you think of the show. You can email us on whatcyrussays@gmail.com. Well, it's used to be called Cyrus Says. For now, it still will be called Cyrus Says. I am Cyrus. I will verify that by clapping twice. Then you know it's me because that's my signature tune. Wherever I go, I just clap twice. And people say, waiter, come here. I don't know why. But today is all about the AMA, which is Ask Me Anything. Because I think we're like a virginal show. We've just about reached puberty. So what we want to do is go out there and allow people to, talk to us. Good, bad and ugly. Especially ugly because radio is a format where you can't see anything. So the whole point here is to keep an open forum. I believe Mikhail Gorbachev, who's my uncle, people don't know this, taught us perestroika and glasnost. Now I don't remember which one is which. But one is about openness. I think it's glasnost. But it could be perestroika. So don't strike me on this issue a little late in the program. So what we're trying to do here is openness. Let people say what they want, talk and, vent. Anger's good. Anger's nice. So if you're upset with your wife's eyebrows, because they've joined and now they've reached a point where they come down like Elvis's sideburns, not an issue. Just go ahead and tell me about it. We'll just talk. And if you don't like the show or do like the show, preferably, then please talk to us as well. So that's what it's all about. So I will reserve anger for later, sadness for the end of the show. And I will start with this ignorant question. Who are you?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm your producer,
That's
Chavi.
right.
I'm the one cracking the whip over here.
Chavi, who I call Chavi and Chubby and
Chaya and
Chaya,
yeah.
The dialects just escape my terrible tongue. But Chavi, what we must tell the people before we start is you've been missing in action. You're an MIA, to use an internet phrase which I learned yesterday. You're an MIA because we were starting the show about 3 weeks back and you weren't there. You went off to Jaipur for some reason. Tell us why in 30 seconds or more.
I was learning how to be a trapeze artist.
I said 30 seconds or more. You stopped in 8. We have no other footage. This is all we got.
Come on, we've
You're
got
going to be trapeze artists in Jaipur.
So many questions, yes. It's amazing.
Fair enough. So you're the producer. Let me just set it up because people should know the truth. Chavi is the producer. She's 18 years old. And I'm the person who's supposed to be the host, also called Cyrus. And my father pays for the show. Hence, I can just call it Cyrus Says. We're like that. We're just full of ourselves. All right. So ask me anything. AMA time. And we're going to start with question number 15.
No, we're not.
No.
We're going to actually go in order. Okay. And day before yesterday, we opened up the AMA on Reddit.
That's
right.
And
Cyrus has not seen any of these questions. He's going in blind.
That's right.
I'm going to ask him
politically incorrect term. Cyrus, not blind. But go ahead.
I'm going to ask him all of your questions and he's just going to have to answer them whether he's squirming or not.
I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And when I say whole, I mean H-O-L-E.
Amen. Okay.
All right.
So question number 1 comes from an Indian patriot.
There isn't any. There are none left. He's lying. But go ahead and tell me.
He doesn't have a flair. This is a word I learned.
Yeah, flair.
But he doesn't have anything except an Indian patriot.
Yeah.
Besides that, no subtext. So his question is, when will Gopal Dutt get more screen time? He's awesome.
Oh, that's on our show. Gopal Dutt is awesome. He's won the Mita Award, by the way. Gopal Dutt's full name is Gopal Dutt Tiwari. I call him GDT. It sounds like a disease transmitted from body contact, but it's not true. He's a lovely man from Uttarakhand. He's actually seen a leopard live. Yeah, that's right. A leopard crossed him 9 feet away. And the leopard got scared. And you'll know why if you see our show a week that wasn't. But Gopal, wonderful actor. He won the Best Supporting Actor at Mita, the Mahindra Awards for Excellence in Theatre or some such thing. And so we applaud him. Yes, we would give him more screen time. We actually want to give him more screen time. But there's Kunal Vijayakar, who's the director. He's a bit of a bully and likes to see his own face there all the time. It's all his fault. He's a fascist, control freak, and it's his absolutely point fingers at him, not me. I love Gopal. I worship Gopal and I want to push him as much as possible. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. After meeting Gopal, I didn't want to meet other people. I said, this is the zenith of peopleness. I don't want to talk to another human being. Gopal is that good. The word tamiz in Urdu? It's him. He just speaks so beautifully. His Hindi is lovely. It's superfluous, but lovely. And the best part is you can't understand what he's saying. So he insults my parents and I say thank you. It's amazing. He's a lovely guy. But yes, to answer the Indian Patriot, we will promote him. But I think his time has come. And by the way, he's done a few films. He's worked with one of India's finest actors, bar none, Salman Khan, the thespian. And in a movie called Tere Naam. That's no less.
I saw that.
Where he plays first friend from the right and he's in many frames. And even though he couldn't ride a motorbike, he was holding on to a bike while people were pushing it. Not Salman. Salman can ride a bike. Oh, well, so I told.
I know he rides a bicycle.
Yeah, well, why would we go into that? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he does ride a bicycle, much like Freddie Mercury, who wrote a song called I Wanna Ride Bicycle.
This is the Baba
Let's
connection.
let's ignore the question and do our let's do our song. Bicycle.
Question 2.
God, we're so cheap. We have to sing Freddie Mercury songs. We can't afford to actually play him.
No, we can't. I don't think we can play royalties. Please, we need to scratch this. We didn't sing anything.
And don't do the Parsi thing, because we can't say, we are related, which we are, but why get into it?
Right. Okay. I just ignore.
My Mercury is rising. Keep going. Okay,
the last 30 seconds didn't happen.
Indian Patriot, the last point is Gopal Dutt, great man, we will push him. We take your point, which is also to make our work less. Go ahead.
Okay, question 2. From throwaway 5536P. I assume that means something.
No, this is Star Wars leftover. People just started after some time giving themselves serial numbers.
R2D2.
R2D2 was the most famous. Then he became a political party in Russia. He's doing very well now. Putin is in trouble.
Well, interestingly enough, this question is, which political party do you support?
Who are you asking?
You.
Oh, it all depends. For me, our extra, well, you're the producer, but there's an alpha producer called Amit Doshi, who's above all of us. And when we say his name, we stand up and salute, but they can't see that. But you'll hear a gushing sound of my organs moving. That's something like that. And Amit Doshi is very clear. He says you cannot have a political affiliation on my show, but you can have it off the show. So my point is, I don't have a philosophy or a bent of mind. So any national party who wants me to support them for little money, I will bring myself and a few supporters on your side. Because for us, it's not about having a spine or a backbone. We don't believe in that nonsense. We believe in how much is on the table. And I think that's the Indian way. God bless.
I think you should name yourself an Indian patriot when you go on Reddit.
Well, I don't know if that would be politically correct to say, but you have, in that reverse psychology of yours, you have satirically proven, as we say in Hindi, young guys, you have proven that India is a very strange country.
All right, let's move on to the next question. It comes from a person called Cutiapa.
Yes, isn't there a video like that? Or comedy collective or something? No, it's a little different, yeah.
I don't know, it's the same spelling, but the person has a flair that says, Insan ka insan se ho bhaichara. Sorry.
Okay, so what are we talking? Same gender loving? Which is okay, whatever.
Well, he loved you VJing on MTV in the 90s, but he feels somehow you've fallen behind all the comedians and anchors you see today. What happened, Cyrus? What happened?
There are 3 or 4 reasons. He's absolutely correct. 1 is age. 2 is baldness. 3 is hair color. All this adds up to my day. I spend too much time doing this and I cannot enhance the anchoring skills. But he's right. And I'm still living off the 90s dream and I'm very happy with it. For me, basically, standards that I have kept have been very low and I think the other comedians should thank me. Because thanks to me, they don't have to go very high. So I don't see the problem here. I'm making sure the market is easy for everyone to get into. So insan, not too much bhaicharya thrown my way, but what the hell, I'm okay with that.
Well, he actually, there was somebody who responded, Bewakoof said that it was supply and demand. Kids wanted more kids acting cool. People like you got older and didn't shift or pivot fast enough. And you also seem to get into a weird phase where you just assumed you're funny when most people were still waiting for the punchline. So...
Okay, now, Cutiapa is talking to the other guy?
This guy is talking to Cutiapa, and then Cutiapa replies and says, that's an outside view. I want to know if any of your personal choices, Cyrus, made a difference. His career sort of followed your path, and you had a good, promising foundation. He says, my career sort of followed his path, had a good, promising foundation, but I am so far behind my mates. So I think he's feeling empathy for you.
So now the parallel is that as I drown, he's drowning with me. So we're like the Titanic, but a smaller version.
Well, I don't think he's blaming you.
I would like to say Titanic because I have a friend who says it that way. And once I heard it, the whole movie changed for me. Because like, have you seen Titanic? I mean, I don't know, just say it. Let it come out of your mouth. Just feel it. Titanic. Just different, isn't it? No longer about people dying, iceberg, who cares? Titanic, just want to hear the title. Oof. Yeah, coming back to, so basically he's saying that he's a parallel and we're both drowning, is it? And others are going ahead of us. Well, tell him not to worry about that. If he's not non-competitive, it's much easier on the stress levels. Blood sugar level doesn't drop. As you can see, I'm quite energetic. So look at the bright side. Besides, I have a very good theory. Keep everything low and everything goes fine in life. Having said that, you can't go lower than this, honestly. This show, for that matter.
I'm offended by that.
I think this
show is awesome.
While you're there. While you're there, it's awesome.
You're on the rise. So, Mr. Cutiapa, things are going to get better.
What does that mean?
Things
must be the medication.
only get better. No?
Oh, okay. Are we singing? So without the permissions, that's not an issue anymore?
Never mind. Okay.
So Cutiapa, your point was things will only get better. Am I right? Why lie to him? It's over. It's all over. Okay, things will get better. Don't be mean. Let's be in a positive frame of mind.
Yeah, that was because I gave Cyrus a dirty look.
I can't believe we're leading people up the road. No, you're right. You're right. No, things will get better. Stop pinching me. They'll get better. Women.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Next question from Pseudo Alpha. Cyrus bro, looking weirdly inimitable in this pic. Slightly resembling the fat guy from AIB.
Oh, that's so politically correct. First, you can't say AIB. That's not politically correct. And then you say fat guy from AIB. I don't know. I don't know if it's a compliment or not, but I think he's, I don't know. There's a guy called, let's see, what are their names? One guy called Khamba, who's tall and thin.
Yeah.
The other guy called Shakya used to write for us up to 6 months ago. And he's, let's say, he's got this beard and he's an awesome looking man from certain cultures, but perhaps not here. And then there's Rohan, who's clean cut and dating Mahesh Bhatt's whole family, from what I gather. And then there's the fourth guy called Tanmay Bhatt, who's an athletic V-shaped man with big deltoids and huge biceps and squats about 500 pounds. And I believe his hamstrings are to die for. I've seen them. I've played with them. And I can tell you, I've made music with his thighs. They're just beautiful. He's a lovely guy.
Oh my God, can't unsee
but I
this.
understand. Chavi, before you get into the visual impairment that you're feeling here, I do understand that, you see, that some of us have what is called a round face. You may have not noticed this because to you, I'm a very aquiline, Greek-looking male. But I'm a podgy guy, if you look at the cheeks. And what happens is, us podgy guys, we're a tribe. So they all assume that Kunal, my friend, is podgy. Tanmay, who I presume he's talking about here from AIB, is podgy. And there are about 5-10 more, like Adan Sami used to be podgy, and then I don't know what happened, they sucked his cheeks out. So we've got a few. Rishi Kapoor, for example, podgy. There are...
You're right. I think all of you look the same.
Yeah, we sort of look the same. There's a sort of tribal thing there. So I'll allow that. But having said that, his lower body is bigger than mine, and I don't mean hamstrings. Yes, we've urinated together, and it's not been pleasant for me.
All right. This is the equivalent of an online tag that says facepalm.
But you know what the great thing about us podgy guys? You never hear us complain. People complain if you're racist, you're sexist, you're tallest, you're shortest, you can't say midget, there's that. You never see a podgy guy say, you call us podgy, call us fat, we're fine, we're happy with it. Why is that? I think when God gave the podgy gene, he gave a certain sukoon feeling to the podgy person. We're all very content.
There is that stereotype that you're jolly, not you
per se. I hate that.
Yeah, but
I hate that. I am actually quite jolly, but my friend Kunal isn't, for example. And when people come and talk to him in public, I remember we were in the airport, we had done a show in Cal, and in the airport in Cal, and this young 20-year-old kid says, as they tend to, I want to be actor, I want to be VJ, can you help? It's always in this disconnected English which throws you. And I of course, being people pleaser, I was like, no, that's a great idea. You should try. Do your best. Never give up. Sapna hai, ye, wo, ye, wo. The Hindi dialogues from B-grade films, Manmohan Desai taught me. And then Kunal said, look, I'll be honest. You don't have a face for TV. Please forget it. Focus on studies. And I saw that guy die in front of me. His eyes went out. Boom. Like he'd been knocked out. And I couldn't believe it. And Kunal is like that. He's just a mean person. I can't lie. Not jolly from any angle. But jolly also tends to be hypocritical and lies, and it's sometimes perhaps better not to be.
Perhaps not.
I would say he's more jelly than jolly, because if you touch him, he sort of, shakes a lot.
Wobbles, wibbles,
all that.
Oh, man.
I think you're a little perverted, huh? You
me?
make all these gestures people can't see.
Oh, my eyes!
It's like you're tooting two horns when you're talking about Kunal. What are you doing? What gesture is that? What does that mean? He's jelly, not custard. All right, next question.
Next question is not a question. Elda is fish. What? Says, hi, Baba. To which Parsi Iyer, 1313, replied,
Parsi Iyer? Uh-huh. Oh, nice.
My Mix Baba side senses are tingling. To which Elda Isfish replied, hi.
Okay, Chavi, sometimes alcohol can change things. So obviously, what I would like to say is before you go online, don't drink. But don't drink and online.
We could do with a drink and then you'd be able to answer that.
I think so. Maybe, or we could stand on our heads and look at it again.
Perhaps.
But anyway, we salute them. I think from what I gathered, one of them is mixed Tambram and Parsi. And I got to tell you, that's not going to be an easy combination. Because if you want to be eccentric, I can't think of the two most eccentric communities than Tambrams and Parsi. So, that's going to be terrible.
Well, say hi back at least.
Oh, hi back. Hi to, what is his name? Elda.
Elda is fish? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Elda is
fish.
Let's try and translate in Gujarati.
Elda is fish?
Elda chai machli.
I don't know.
Elda chu machli chu Elda. I don't know. I tried. It didn't work. And what's the other one?
Parsi Iyer 1313.
Parsi Iyer 1313. This is way above our pay grade. We just can't handle this.
No. So we'll just say hi and move on.
All the best. God bless.
Cyrus says it's time for an ad.
And shall we have to interrupt you for a second and talk about IndianBean.com, coffee for everyone, which is apparently your favorite.
It is actually. I know the guy who runs it, and he gets his...
How tall is he?
This is a good question. Maybe
Don't answer
5'9".
it. Why did you? Just show me your hand. No one else will know. That way, no one will know you're lying. Go on. So tell us a little bit about IndianBean.com.
He sources single estate organic coffee from Coorg.
Correct.
And it's yum. So there's one that's called
Correct.
Appa's coffee. There are 3 or 4 blends. 3 blends?
3 blends.
Appa's is freaking amazing.
Yeah, you get Appa with the coffee if you're really nice to the proprietor, which is very rare. Also, there's a 10% discount for all purchases at the IndianBean.com with the discount code
Cyrus says.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Owa man who says, will you be a roast master if you get a chance, with the winky smiley? And Hush Fap has replied with capitals and bold saying, if it happens again in India.
Yeah, good point. But I was watching Comedy Central, India's greatest channel ever, who are path breakers in liberal thinking and beep every single word. And they had this roast of Justin Bieber, who you may not know was an internet sensation 40 years ago and remained like Shahid Afridi 16 for life. So I was just thinking that we can't, if you don't use the profanity, because it's insult comedy as a genre. So I just think there's a real paradox in terms for us in India, except when you're doing a political rally and you insult mothers and the skin complexion of people and sex of the gender of the other person and the caste of the other person, community, communal leanings,
race,
all that. So that's the only time we get away with roasting. But other than that, they beeped everything. If you saw the Justin Bieber roast on Comedy Central, they had only 3 words left. Even Bieber was, I think it sounded like a bad word in German or something. So only Justin was okay. I heard if once and the twice. That was it. It was beep, 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 beep. So it's a bit tough. But who knows? India's changed in the last 50 years. We used to have less trees. Now we have even less. So, anything is possible. In about 20 years, it might be open season.
So when you're about 25.
But Chavi, obviously there's a thirst and a market for that. I'm sorry to interrupt your joke, which I'll give you 2 minutes to do later after the show's over.
Oh, it's done.
I'm sorry. This is my problem with women all my life. I just keep talking and then they leave and then I don't know why. Because I didn't hear them. I never really know.
And all women want is to be heard.
Heard. Women and most men I'm with now as well. Don't ask me why. But yeah, so coming back to that, I think what we do get these inquiries for doing these shows, which is slightly more private, and this sounds vulgar and terrible. But
Are there polls involved? Oh God, I don't believe I asked that.
Oh God, there are polls involved, but they don't work. I'm 43. But coming back to the whole thing, so it's like, can you roast my family? Can you, such small...
What?
Well,
what?
So we got this event inquiry. Let's call them the Sharmas called up. Sharma said we're having a grand celebration, 50th birth, 25 years of marriage. The whole family's coming down from all over. It's just a group of 50 of us, and we want to do a roast and all that. So will you be the roast master? Will you help, push it up? So let's see if it happens. I'll tell you about it once it happens.
But I assume this is a PG-13 sort of crowd. How will you do the profanities?
Also we'll sit and have a meeting and they'll tell me how far we can take it.
Right.
Oh, they'll allow the profanities. They're all very westernized. They're like our alpha producer Amit Doshi, they're just cool guys.
Western Sharmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see our leaning towards America, no? Visa shouldn't be an issue.
No.
No, not yet.
Not yet, yes.
Well, once the Republicans come into power, things will change.
Then we will.
They're pro-India. They always have been. That's the only country they know. They haven't heard of China yet, from what I gather. It's like, India! We destroyed all of them when we entered America. Something like that. It's somewhere there. China's coming soon.
Next.
Is it from China? Be careful.
It's the mandatory question.
Mandarin question.
And it's by Parsi Iyer, 1313.
What, he's back again?
He's back. And he says, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Take a second.
This is a very good question. It's a question from a very intelligent man. If I remember my Republic, written by Plato, who was an ancestor, in chaste Greek, which I don't speak anymore except for the word Yanni, which means John. Let me just tell you that this question exposes the intelligence of this man. And sorry? Don't bang your foot? It would have been my answer. I would have answered with don't bang my foot. You stole the words from my mouth. I will not bang my foot. Banging days are over. Didn't I just say that about a couple of minutes back? Aren't you paying attention? The foot is the least of my problem.
You said you were 43.
It starts there and goes all the way up to the main organ, the brain. That's where it all is. Anyway, I'd go with the former because I've forgotten both the answers. So I'll just say the former.
A horse-sized duck.
Good you mentioned it because I couldn't remember anything more than horse. A horse-sized duck, because you know what they say, it's the fight in the duck which is more important than the duck in the fight.
Okay, can I tell you a joke?
Please. Look, do I have options to answer?
Yes, because Parsi Iyer might like it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, why do ducks have flat feet?
Again, this is a very intelligent question. Takes me back to the Republic by Plato, written in chaste Greek, of which I speak only 3 words. I mentioned alia jacta est, which is Latin, but it means all is lost, I surrender. Your answer to your question is, I have no idea.
And everybody's forgotten the question
We're
by
going to
now.
say it again.
Why do ducks have flat feet?
Let's ask a duck. Hello, why do you have flat feet?
To stamp out forest fires.
Chavi, we were on a roll till then. Everything was going well. We took care of the criticism. We got some love from now we've got Animal Farm. That's all we've got left.
Okay, we'll move on. Fine.
Why is a duck stamping out forest fires? Okay, but never ask questions in comedy. Okay, go ahead. Next.
Indian bureaucrat says.
What rhymes with duck? Why appalling silence? Yeah, suck. Suck is good.
Luck.
I can give you 7 words to your 1. Move on.
Indian bureaucrat wants to know, why does he, you Cyrus,
Yeah.
why does he steal jokes from WhatsApp forwards?
I have no idea what WhatsApp is. I don't subscribe to it. I'm technologically challenged. You should come and spend a day with me. All criticism, please, towards Kunal Vijayakar. He's the lazy one. I'm the lazier one. I don't even bother with all this. It's out of control.
Right,
Indian bureaucrat, can you help me though?
He goes on to criticize you a little more. He says,
superb.
is he such a shit comedian that he needs to steal jokes that are a month old?
Yes.
Also, if he insists on stealing, at least pick a decent source.
Can he help us? Indian bureaucrat, we appeal to you. The humanitarian side of you, the compassionate side, the side which you fed ducks when you were young, especially those with flat feet and forest fires. I appeal to you to help us. Send us your jokes and we will rewrite them once again, correct the spellings, get the grammar right, and give it back to the public the way it should have been in the first place.
I think you should work on my duck joke.
Indian bureaucrat is probably part of the AIB because that's IB and then there's AIB, so maybe they're half of them. Maybe not.
All Indian bureaucrat?
No,
Okay.
God, no. Can you imagine?
Yeah, no. So he goes on to say, please ask him
He's
to
not
watch.
finished?
No, there's more.
Oh, God.
Ask him to watch the Great Indian Tamasha on NDTV to educate about political satire.
Oh,
to
okay.
which Cutiapa, quite active on this forum, says, I don't think he's a comedian. He's an actor who hosts comedy shows. I think he himself doesn't know how he fell into the trap of being a comedian.
Who are they talking about? Me or the guy in Tamasha? Okay, all right. Okay, all I can say to Indian bureaucrat is it that if he and Cutiapa can just talk amongst themselves, come to a consensus, and then send us a collective question, then we'll have to address it. This is going all over the place. I can't understand, but I accept the criticism like a man and say, "Well done, thank you."
Well, there's some follow-up comments.
Oh God, it's not ending.
Yes.
It's like my first marriage,
So
which is still going on. Yeah.
Bebukoof says, the guy thinks he's funny. He's one of the reasons I stopped watching TV.
Who are they talking about? Me or somebody else? Oh, okay.
You,
That's
he.
when we moved to talk radio, no? So hopefully,
Well, he goes on to insult the
hopefully
podcaster.
We'll cancel all the mediums for him one by one.
Yeah, he might stop listening to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He reads out so many of his lines. Ask him if he would be willing to read out lines we send him on live TV.
On live TV, I don't do live TV. I'm not Mandira.
Also, ask him why it seems like he's doing a bench press with his neck when he talks.
Oh yeah, I do lift a lot of weight. That's true. And it's because of people like him. They make me feel really bad about myself, so my self-esteem comes out in the gym. And I, just now that he mentioned it, I do a 320-pound bench press, not counting the bar, without a spot. But why show off?
Okay.
I mean, who does that? Who talks about their lifts, man? Come on.
I don't know. And he
Sorry?
also goes on to say that cringe humor and self-roast needs to be a genre.
Okay, I've lost interest in the person. I don't even know who's talking anymore, but they're being very mean and seductive at the same time. I'm being slightly drawn to them sexually, and I feel like this is a wrong forum for that. But all I can say is I do love them, and I welcome them with open arms. I think of myself as a sort of freedom fighter for comedians who are being shunned and treated badly.
Oh,
yes.
So noble.
Not really.
Okay.
I just thought I'd say that to get them off our back. So who's the last guy we were speaking to?
Cutiapa?
Oh.
No, Bebukoof.
Bevkoof. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, next question. Was _shadowbanned says about the week that wasn't website. Why is this website so shit? Can it be fixed, please? Thanks, love you. Also, do you think the week that wasn't can make a large impact as Last Week Tonight, hosted by John Oliver can, provided your budget gets increased, you're shifted to a channel with a larger audience?
These are very good questions. I want him to redirect our career path immediately. I agree with everything he said, including the website nonsense. But there again, Pavan Acharya is in charge. I'll give you his number. It's 9819933. Call him up and take it up with him. We've been begging him because, at 43, I have no idea what the web is about. I'm more like that duck joke that you told me. I can't think further than that. But yeah, it's a very interesting point. Maybe if we go on a better podium or larger podium, whatever. But as far as English in India, there aren't any larger podiums left for us. So we'll have to move to England. And then John Oliver will have to move to India. Then they'll tell me you have to speak in Hindi to reach a larger audience. Then they'll kill him. The guy will, finish his career because of the Rajesh Srivastav taking over his show. So I'm trying to be careful here. I don't want everybody collectively in comedy to die because of our ambition. So let's dull our ambition and stay where we are. A bit like the Congress for the next 5 years. But they're funnier.
They're naturally funny. So, Crazy Guy, is it crazy? No, it's Crazy Guy, says also remove that hideous BG laugh track.
Yeah,
also remove that
I'm
hideous background laughing track.
Chavi, you've never seen our show, so I'll explain to you the question. We've got this laugh track, which is two ways of looking at it. So I think post The Office in the late 90s, a lot of people removed the laugh track saying it's passé and doesn't work in comedy. Fair enough. But Mr. Vijayakar, who runs our show, he's from the 40s and he believes that there's no laugh track. Nobody understood it's funny. So, but I'm on his side. I don't like the laugh track. I hate laugh tracks.
All right. Maybe this
but you've got
comment will turn the tide.
We need Indian bureaucrat to help us with this, man, because there's too much bureaucracy in our office. We can't just get things done like that. I mean, if that guy comes to the party, makes a few calls for us, makes the red tape move, things can happen. It's just beyond my control.
So this is a call for help. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm like a governor, I don't really have powers, but I do stand at the podium and grin.
Awesome. All right, moving on. 6chan says, since you're here, where can one watch the old school Bakra episodes online? I was trying to find the bit you did in the photo studio with the toothpaste and the jumping and the Hrithik main aa raha hoon, but was unsuccessful. And it's Mux. ITSM UKS says, yaar, exact same thing I've been looking for ages. Mile to mujhe bhi PM kar do, yaar.
PM kar do?
Kar diyo yaad se, actually.
Okay, this is a good question, but now I feel like I'm in a library doing research and trying to find tapes for people. Has our show reached that level? It probably has. Because
is it online somewhere?
It must be online, but it's very difficult for me to answer these questions because I myself am not online. And except for the adult websites where naked people are talking to each other amongst other things, I don't really have any experience in this whole online business. And Bakra is not that. But I'm sure it's there somewhere. So what we'll do is we'll have to research this and we'll answer it the next time. So we'll re-talk to him the next time because I'll have to find out.
Yeah, this is, Cyrus is being blindsided. He had no idea we were asking him this.
Yeah, it's much better when they're just saying your career sucks. I mean, that's a nice, sweet way to put it. But when you tell me to go and find things, I feel like a librarian. And, librarian is not an easy job. Not anymore.
There are no libraries left.
It used to be in Pakistan, they had 3 books, it's fine, here, this is out of stock. But here, in India, where? What?
Fair enough. Okay, so, 6chan and It's Mux, or It's Mux, or however you say it, we're going to find out for you about how to get the old school Bakra episodes online. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next question. It's not a question. Rohit KNHS says, I just love the week that wasn't. Gopal as AK is too awesome.
Yes, this is a Gopal forum. I'm so upset. I'll never speak to him again.
Wait. Kunal is coming up again and so is Tanmay Bhatt, by the way.
Okay, alright, go ahead.
Alright.
These questions are longer than my answers. Hurry up.
This is ANPK who says, I thought you'll do something funny with the other week that wasn't, but it's the same unfunny stuff. Can you please try making it funny? Maybe more of Kunal Vijayakar or something. P.S. Stop with the Chris Shrikant bit. I change the channel every time you bring that on.
Okay, done. No Chris Shrikant. Point taken. More Kunal. Point taken. What's the first thing? Whatever it is,
try to be
taken.
more funny.
Yeah, try to be more funny.
And Mad Max says, oh God, no. Kunal Vijayakar is desperately unfunny and tries too hard.
Oh God. Cancelled. Kunal Vijayakar taken out. Point taken. Shrikant still taken out. And what is the first thing? Try to be more funny. Taken.
Chamya Meshtru.
Okay.
Chamya Meshtru?
If the name or the ID is funnier than the question or the answer, where are we going to go with this? We'll just say the name 3 times and all of us just have a good time. Okay, go ahead.
I did.
I know. Yeah. You tried.
I tried.
You actually failed. It's like you're doing ATKT. Try it again.
CHAMAYYAMESHTRU.
Chamya something. Okay. We got the vague idea.
Basically, he just wants to say that you look like a thinner version of Tanmay Bhatt in your verification picture.
Okay.
Vasant Kunj says, Mod log, ye AMA थ्रेड है या सिर्फ अनाउंसमेंट ऐसा ना हो कि हम चूतिया यहाँ सवाल पूछ रहे हैं पता चला बंदा खुद किसी और थ्रेड पे है. So, rest assured we're here.
I read my Premchand and I can see the parallel between his conversation and one of India's finest Hindi poets, writers. But this is not going to be able, we cannot answer this. There's a certain government restriction. If you look at Article 7143 of the IPC, we cannot answer this question right now because he's used 3 bad words, including Cyrus. So, it's not possible.
Okay. Sorry, Vasant Kunj.
Vasant, we want to help you. Deep down, there's a passion to help you, but we can't. We just can't cross that mile yet. Maybe next week. Definitely the week after. And we'll only talk to you the week after that.
Or maybe on the week that wasn't.
No, God, no.
Okay.
I've got like 7 critics already and I have only 5 fans. So, I'm down.
Oh, And they like different things and they dislike different things.
Yeah, and when they do contradictory things, I don't know what to do anymore. We try to pacify one guy and the other guy says the other thing, and then, this is like, now I know what the BJP is feeling like. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's
Try
not
and balance
easy
the books
you.
in India. Oops. Why didn't I just do my law? It's much funnier.
Cyrus says, stop picking your nose, listen to this ad.
Okay, we're just going into a quick word here on...
Wow Tables.
Wow Tables.
Formerly known as Gourmet It Up.
Yes, now called Wow
new
Tables.
Reincarnation. So you can use it to book tables at many, many restaurants all over Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi and Pune.
There you go.
And you can also use these curated menus that they come up with. Well, their website is now wowtables.com. And if you book through us and use the gift card that says Cyrus Says, you get $500 off your first reservation. Wow.
What is the thing you have to say?
Cyrus Says.
Sorry, again?
Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus says.
_ Dexter. Who or which was your best bakra?
Oh God, back with the bakra. This haunts me all my life, I feel really bad. We have a show on air for 32 years and I go to an airport and someone goes, hey, bring bakra back, It's like that Lalita ji in that surf ad. So she did this, you do remember?
Yeah, of course.
From the 80s. A path-breaking ad, huge, big success. She only got that role for the next 40 years. They wouldn't give her anything else. Wherever she went, she was called Lalita ji. In bed, she was called Lalita ji. How do I know? Early days, advertising. You have no idea. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. I'm just lying. It's a joke. Not even a joke. That's mean. What was the question we were discussing?
Which is your favorite bakra episode?
Oh, it's tough, yeah. Who can remember? But I like all the ones on the road because they would end faster. And also the ones that went wrong, which are many. There are too many variables involved. For example, once my producer Vasant Valsan had given... I didn't have a mobile phone. I only started using a phone 1.5 years ago. So he would give me his phone and I would pick up a customer driving a cab and then the instructions would come on the phone, right? So I pick up the customer and then I drive a little fast somewhere in South Bombay and the phone loses network and he can't get me and I can't find them and 1 hour and now I have to find Bori Bandar to drop the customer like a real taxi driver and I don't know where it is and I'm trying to find it. Oh, it was hilarious. So that we spent the whole day was a washout because they couldn't get in touch with me. I had to try and borrow phones, but I'm dressed like a taxi driver speaking in English to people on the road and they're not responding. They're like, what's wrong with this guy? So that when these things happen, they go out of whack, man. I can't, and I'm so angry. Hot sun. By the way, do you know, if you've ever driven a cab, you actually in this
No,
40 degrees,
haven't.
why haven't you? You should. With 40 degrees heat, your shirt, that little brown thing that they have to customarily wear, it like Velcro happens. It sticks to the seat with the sweat. And as you lean forward, a sound comes every single time. And you just feel terrible. I was stinking. I feel a lot of respect for, it's a good way to get our society, the disparity to understand each other. Drive, be a taxi driver for a day and you will treat them with much more respect. Hard job, boring job, terrible passengers and no network. Can you imagine?
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But kudos to you for pulling it off.
God, I'm not pulling off anything else. This is not a visual medium. Stop it. God, women, why are you so attractive? I'm just kidding, Chavi. Don't slap me. I just put that in because I'm trying to change the tempo. The same question about Bakra or some criticism about week that was, get Kunal's too fat, Gopal's too good. I mean, when will it end?
I think you've just answered the next question. Which is from Throw7988 who says, Cyrus, why have you never tried stand-up comedy? The answer is he shouldn't.
Yeah, not from the first half an hour. But I would say we had a show called Cyrus. We did about 20 shows of it and then we got bored. And we will do something by the end of the year because we have to pay bills.
Okay.
If we can find 300 people to watch a show and the same 300 come back for about 5 shows in a row, we're fine.
You pay them?
Of course not.
Oh, okay. Well, Throw7988, you've got something to look forward to. Cyrusitis Part 2.
Part 2. Well, that's not the name, but we'll figure it out. I'm working on projects just like the government. I've got a 5-year plan. Things are happening. If they don't happen, vote for the other guy. It's like that.
Wonderful. Peanuts456.
Now, don't be rude. Is my wife talking to you? That is my name.
That was not a personal time.
It's true. I can't lie anymore. I can't hide behind size. I've got big pecs and it ends there. Next.
But you're on radio, so...
nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. One guy cares. Chutyapa or bureaucrat. I think they should marry each other. When will that end? Yeah. Imagine if they had kids. The Indian Chutyapa. Well, you don't have to say that. Carry on.
It's just taken for granted.
Don't be mean. Don't be rude to them. They might be friends later on. They might be powerful.
There could be a romance brewing.
Oh, God knows. As I age, I'm really thinking that is an option. Go on. Chavi, next.
Peanuts456 says, what was dancing on Jhalak like?
Oh God, that was really terrible. Why is he bringing that up? This is worse than the criticism. You know how painful that is? Because they would make you do one line of a song, of a Hindi song. Imagine doing one line 25 times. The same, they stop the baja and play it again. And you do the same step. And again, it was amongst the worst, the top 5 worst things that ever happened to me. The first 4 being MTV, TWTW, Bakra itself, and The Marriage. I've mentioned all this in the early part of the program. Please review it anytime. But yeah, it was not easy. It was not fun. But Steve Ward wrote a book called Outside the Comfort Zone. Not that he's a psychologist, Aussie captain. And I was just told that just try something which is totally not you, and you feel a sense of accomplishment that you actually try it.
Are you a dancer?
It's like
Do you
Rahul
dance?
Gandhi trying politics. So you go do something which is not you. And so I'm not a dancer. I'm a belly, but not the dancer. I'm half. I'm belly more and dancer less. So that whole thing of doing something different was great. But after 4 hours a day, they make you practice. And all the other guys like Ronit Roy and all are very ambitious and they work hard. And so the crew would tell me that they work 12-hour shifts and then they want to do 5 hours of dancing and 6 hours of dancing. And I come in and I talk to her to kill time. And then I say, let's talk about the look and, so and then I want to do 3 hours of dancing. Then I say, I've got to go, and then someone's in hospital. So my whole thing was, the crew really liked me because I didn't want to work and wanted to run away, and they weren't used to that. So I appeal to all people in reality shows, show less interest and just make everyone happy.
Okay. Well, I'm curious. So dancing practice sounds like it was grueling. What about the final thing when you performed, and did you feel good?
I lasted 4 or 5 rounds, so not bad. Of course, me and Mika were the worst things on it, and he lasted 10 rounds. So judgment is in the hand of judges, and so you can talk to them. But yeah, you feel good. It's like a workout. But I told you, doing the same one line again and again, it's a bit like masturbation, at the end of the day, it doesn't go anywhere. It's the same thing. Sorry.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Sorry, Chavi. I don't know why we brought that up.
We didn't bring that up.
You put a placard out saying use bad words. Not bad, but scientifically bad. Latinish. Go on. Let's move on.
Moving on. MWZZ says, did Kunal really quit smoking? He's got
yes
4 questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kunal's quit smoking.
Yeah, but let's not Panvati it because it's 53 days batting today.
All right.
And yeah, let's see how long it lasts. Because I'm told it takes over a year. But the great thing is that Kunal, if you ever met him, smoked since the age of 16, and that was his real job. And if you ever call him on the phone, it's like this: Hi, Kunal, Cyrus. Yeah, sorry, I just have to call you back. So, it was like this all my life. On the PA when we were shooting, you can't hear a word he's saying because he breaks into cough. It's like a cough opera. It goes up and down, there's a crescendo, it has a break, a female voice, male voice, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano, everything happens. Except mezzo-soprano, I can't do that. But the main point of the whole thing is that years of oral and audio bashing has come to an end. So we're all praying, my family, his friends, everybody. His family too, except the 2 uncles who can't hear. They're really upset.
Oh, yeah. Too bad. Well, MWZD, you could also pray that Kunal stays.
This is the longest answer
clean.
for a short question.
Second question. Do you consider yourself more as an actor or a comedian?
Oh God, this is like a Miss India question. I'm scared. Where do I go? Should I go with NGO? Should I go with Mother Teresa? Should I go here? Should I go there? I don't know. No, I consider myself an out-of-work lawyer. And now after listening to Chutyapa and the other fellow Indian bureaucrat, I'm most hurt and thinking that I have to change profession. I think we're all in the entertainment business. Now I'm going to give an almost serious answer. Then I've changed my mind and said no. Acting is a little more difficult in terms of getting work. But at the moment we have anchoring work, so we take what we get. I've also done puppetry. As in, I've done puppet shows for really rich mothers and their kids, more for the mothers, but they thought of me as the puppet, that's all they saw. More like a hand guy, and no double meaning. Yeah, but that's the truth, So I've done all kinds of terrible shows. Me and Kunal have actually worked in a very rich family's second birthday party. I mean, this is as low as it goes, the child's second birthday party, and we were the dinosaur. I was, of course, the front. He was the back, and there was a guy called Kunal Roy Kapoor, who was also an actor. He was the middle. Okay, but we were all younger and you do what you do. But, so there are many embarrassing and humiliating moments. None as bad as Week that wasn't, but yeah, there were a few along the way.
So that was neither comedy nor acting?
I think that was just at the end of the day, taking it to another level, but lower.
Dropping it.
And remember, if you're the back of the dinosaur, I mean, really, that's where the mating happens and, that's where the dropping happens and stuff. So I told Kunal, whatever happens, I look better. What it's worth. You always remember the front of the dinosaur. Your T-Rex, the small hands, the big
party?
head.
What?
That's the beauty of a poor country like India, that you can celebrate a 2-year-old's birthday party with a real dinosaur, which we are now.
Excellent. Well, he's got a third question.
Oh God. Okay, can I answer it in 4 years?
No.
Okay.
How do you reconcile your public persona of a buffoon and the intelligent person that I know you are?
Okay, Mom, stop writing in. Alright, stop following me. Stop doing this. I gotta escape. I'm 43 and living at home with my mom. I can't do this anymore. I need cheap housing. I need to go to Danu. I have a friend called Kiran who actually is the engineer for this program, is responsible for the audio quality. So anything we say wrong, it's his fault, not from my mind. But really, honestly, I can't believe this. I can't believe this is happening. You spend your life trying to act like you're an idiot. And then they try and break it. Don't break it.
Okay.
I've now become an idiot. You know how classical conditioning happens? You try to do something and after some time you actually become that. It's happened.
I think Malcolm Gladwell wrote a book about it. If you practice hard enough, you become an expert.
That's right.
At being a buffoon.
And Malcolm Gladwell is now a woman. And how did that go wrong?
He was practicing.
Yes. I remember clean-shaven torso from the age of 36. Go on.
Well, MWZD has also started a new meme on the Reddit thread, which is pretty damn awesome. So you guys should check it out on the Reddit thread. Should I show it to you?
Yeah, but Chavi, what the hell are you saying?
Look
English.
at this. Look at this.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm showing him the picture. You guys need to go online to see it.
This is my Shoaib Akhtar picture. Please, if they see it, this is what my son says. I look like Shoaib Akhtar.
Well, they think you look like Tanmay Bhatt in this.
A little bit. Maybe if Shoaib and Tanmay had a kid, yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
Tanmay Akhtar. That's my new name.
That's
I like
your
it.
name. Okay.
Print
Well,
it.
MWZD, you have my stamp of approval. I love the meme. Fire_dancing, asks, is India ready for the style of political satire you might find on the Jon Stewart Daily Show or John Oliver's Last Week Tonight?
Yeah, but these are redundant questions in a way because, we live here, they live there. You'll have a switch. Let them do our show. See how hard it is then. But you'll have to cut this out, cut that out. Don't say this, don't say that. Push this down, push this up. Be careful, no abuse. We've got like 7,000 rules. We work in a very small space. So I have a lot of respect for people like us, but not me particularly. And let me just say that Jon Stewart is on his way out, sadly. And that's a very sad thing because 17 years of Jon Stewart and he won everything in sight. So yeah, that's going to be a great loss. I applied for the job, but they get the South African guy. I think they're going towards Africa now as a market. And
well, India will come next, I'm sure.
I don't know. I think we missed the boat because he already had that Indian origin guy also on the show. He has the South African comedian whose name is Trevor Noah, if I am not mistaken. And he's very talented and much better looking and 3 inches taller. And also,
than you.
And also, the apartheid era and all, you get more points for that. Well, I'm a rich kid from Malba Hill. My suffering is basically acne.
But you're a minority, Parsi.
Oh, yeah, but they were so small they haven't heard of us at all. We don't exist. You got to be a little bigger than that. You can't be a minor minority. You got to be like a minority. So there's a caste system in minorities. We're so low, we're not on the radar. One day, perhaps.
So do you think, so I'm going to break this question down for fire dancing because I'm curious.
Yeah.
Do you think is India ready for this style of political satire can be broken down into the governance and the people? So do you think the people, not
people in urban India, look at this. We are a dichotomy. We're not like one type. So that's the other problem. There's a lot of conservative thinkers out there as well. There's a lot of, how can I answer this? This is a country which is going one step forward, one step backward all the time. It's difficult. So there is no answer to this question. All I can tell you is we're better than Bangladesh. I can guarantee you I cannot do this show in Bengali in Bangladesh. I will not live 3 days. Okay. Here I've got a week at least.
Good answer. All right. Question from The Chosen Shit. Do you intend to make full-fledged shows of the Desi Impractical Jokers and more on Comedy Central?
Well, yeah, that's an idea they're toying with and we're toying with. And the moment we can figure out the production, well, it all boils down to that one word which I cannot use. That P word which men always want to talk about, mine is more, paisa. Mm-hmm. What did you didn't think I meant? No. I didn't mean pelvis. I meant paisa, pelvis.
Thank you for clarifying.
You don't even know your body parts. God, Charlie, do you know any men? No, yeah, but we want to because we just think that can I quickly tell you something about Bakra?
Yeah.
So we did a couple of seasons. Japanese television bought it, and they played it, and apparently it was a big hit in Japan, dubbed of course. And they came and interviewed me, and a long 2-hour interview with an interpreter. And the questions they were asking were not so much about our creative ability, and it wasn't that they were interested in, the creative content. It was the fact that you do this and nobody gets into trouble. Like, they can't believe I'm dressed like a policeman running across a road with a gun in my hand. They're like, in Tokyo, if you're not a real licensed policeman for 45 years, you cannot hold a gun for even a second. So there was all that cultural thing that they were interested in. And how to tell them we've not taken permission and we're shooting for 12 minutes flat. And then how we lie, or how we bribe, or how we do this and that. So the social ramifications of shooting a show in a country like this is what really turned them on. But apparently they did very well. And you won't believe this. I have seen Japanese people at airports look at me either like I'm someone who's going to serve them tea or because they recognize me. I'm not 100%
You're probably
sure.
looking for your gun. Like this is the police.
Sweetheart, you be careful. That sex symbol thing doesn't wash with me.
I was talking about the P word.
Stop it, that pelvis thing. How I miss that part of my body. That
begs the question of where it's gone, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
No, I don't think it's in the 4-part breakup. I don't feel it's there.
Cyrus says, now is not the time for a bathroom break.
Listen to Cyrus Says from our website, cyrussays.in, our Facebook page, facebook.com/cyrussays.in, and on the Stitcher app for iOS or Android, search for Cyrus Says. I learned it by heart, yaar. I can't trust reading anymore. It's done. We are also on TuneIn Radio, your favorite podcasting software. We will soon be on iTunes. We're working on that as we speak. It's going to happen. And to learn about new episodes as soon as they're released, follow us on Twitter at Cyrus Says In, on Facebook at facebook.com/Cyrus Says In, or sign up for our newsletter from our website, Cyrus Says In. It sounds a little vulgar, no? Cyrus Says In, and now Cyrus Says Out, and then Cyrus Says In, then Cyrus Says Out, and then Cyrus Says, ho gaya, mera ho gaya, I have to go. Sounds really bad now when you think about it. And absolutely true. That's the way it works.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Manus says, which comedians do you follow? I don't know if he means literally or online or...
Like if I get lost or something and,
no
Daddy,
idea.
are you funny? Can I find my way home? I don't know.
Can I follow you?
Yeah, you can. But I was just thinking, I don't know. I'm not one of these, I'm not the online generation. I sort of miss that. So I'm not one of those guys who watches every show, and all I can tell you is what I grew up on, which is what Doordarshan had. Star Trek was hilarious because the clothes were so tight. Reminded me of Shamak Davar classes. Some of the kids there and what they made to wear, and then the shows they put up. So yeah, there was a similarity. Then we had the Goon Show, which I used to record and listen to on audio, which is Peter Sellers and gang. So I'm really old school when it comes to that. You can tell. You can ask the first two guys we spoke about. Yeah, so we didn't have that much, but I do like my Seinfeld. I can watch it 50 times a day. I sometimes do 30, but that's on working days because, we have to spend 1 hour here. That I like Cheers. I like a lot of American comedy. I like British comedy. I would like Algerian comedy, but I can't speak the language. Although it's more Frenchish, but I don't speak that. So yeah, there's lots of influences, lots of people, but by and large, I don't follow. I know the next generation gets to see a lot more than us. So we'll probably have a new world of comedians in the next 5 to 10 years.
Are there any Indian comedians you like?
I'm racist. I hate Indian comedians. Can't bear them. And anybody tries to be funny with me and he's like a passport holder, I'm like, no. If you're an NRI, maybe. But no, not passport holder. PIO, yes. PIO I feel because my sister is. But and she's funny.
Is this your ego talking?
No, I'm kidding, of course. But Indian comedians are like Jaspal Bhatti. Again, from my generation. And the young guys, the internet guys, I don't follow anyone, so I can't tell you, I'll be lying. I met this guy called Amog. He was vaguely funny for 5 minutes, but now I haven't seen him for 10 years. Apparently he does a lot of stand-up stuff. Ashish, who worked for us, was very funny. As a writer, he's one of this AIB fellows who've become quite big at the moment. I've never seen the other guys in concert. I've never seen them work. So
what about people like Russell Peters and...
It's too expensive.
Louis C.K.
To see an Anglo-Indian guy scream at me for 15 minutes, I mean, I can get that in Calcutta anytime. If I'm at Tollyganj Club, I drink too much, boom, I get into a fight. But coming back to, what's his name?
Manus.
Seinfeld was 12,500 rupees. I love Seinfeld, but I couldn't spend 12,500 rupees. It's just, that's like what? You're spending about 6,200 per joke? I mean, hello. So I said no.
So the mat didn't
but I wasn't the only one who said no. Apparently so did the RTO and a few other people because we have a parking issue. And comedians and parking, I mean, you can, years and years of footage on that.
Yeah, another P word.
Another P word, there you go.
Manus, by the way, goes on to say, But
I just want to say the P is silent in comedians. Just by the way.
Thanks for sharing that.
Okay.
Manus wanted to say, thanks for all your work. He's been following you since MTV days. You rock.
At last, we have someone saying nice things. Manus, I want to hold you tight, cuddle you like you're like my little baby, play with your hair and kiss you on your cheeks. All four. Well, if he's big like me, then we have lots of, cheeks. Yeah, just look at this. I've got like 4 chins and I'm not Chinese. Just look.
Next question. Modern Yogi. Were you getting extra payment from your new big boss for mocking AK and team? Question mark, smiley face.
Interesting take. But let me tell you, we are free. Nobody tells us what to do. I'm lying. Help.
Okay, we'll change the topic.
Right.
Next question. Mehernosh says, Kemcho Baba, what did you think of the Jio Parsi ad campaign?
Well, I spent 47 different interviews in print and electronic media explaining my stand, which is I'm always ready to contribute, but the wife says no, and rightly so, which is whatever the other party and what they'll go through. Not to mention more kids, which perhaps may or may not behave like me. But I think the little bit of problem here that we try to address, which the mainstream media just jumped onto, is that the Jio Parsi was not trying to force anyone to get married. They were suggesting to increase the numbers if you could, procreate amongst yourselves. Now, who does that? I think that's so progressive and forward-thinking. Do you have any community saying, come on, make love quickly? I mean, nobody else says that. It's only the Parsis who do that. For that progressive thinking, there was all this flack. And, the other issues were not exactly the core issue. The core issue is just about breeding, It's like you have Rottweilers, you want more Rottweilers. You have Great Danes, you want more Great Danes. You have the Grizzly Bear, you want more Grizzly Bears.
So in prosaic terms, you're fine with this?
You know I use only macho animals, have you noticed? Yeah, no caterpillar there.
No.
I love caterpillars. I had one as a pet. Tried to throw a ball, no fetching, gave it up. Now I have the ball, don't have the caterpillar.
Turn
Next
into
question.
a butterfly?
Is that what happens? God, my ball's the same. Chavi, if you can't take it anymore, you can call up Indian something who's abusing us and join
Indian
him.
bureaucrat, yes. Okay.
You can become Mrs. Indian bureaucrat.
No.
Too much red tape? Fair enough. Move
Thank
on.
you. Blasticity had 5 questions for you. So
Oh.
I'm wondering if I should
I don't know,
combine
but I'm
some of them.
thinking of the early days when we got Ajmal Kasab. They probably gave him 4. I mean, have I done that badly? Okay, 5. Come on,
No,
let's
you're
hear it.
probably a little more entertaining.
I hope so. Go
Okay.
on.
Question 1. Which person made a huge impact on your life and how? This is like a essay question for
Well,
a
I was
university.
breastfed for more than 2.5 years, which apparently is not the norm. So I guess it would be my father. Because he said, no, stop, as far as I remember. These questions again remind me of these Miss India level contests in mid-India when they, you go to B-Town and then they have the contest and they always ask these motivational questions. And I'm just thinking, if you don't have a planted answer, you look like a moron. What if you say it was my carpenter? I don't know. I just liked him, the way he used his hands, and I won't say tools, but So I'm just saying, why can't it be that? But they always have some famous person. I was motivated by, the greatness of so-and-so who, invented the wheel and then, broke it into 2 parts and used it to shave. But that's not, the answer. My answer would always be my father, because he was nice enough to tell me that life sucks. Marriage sucks. There's nothing, tomorrow which will be better than today. So it's just downhill. And we live in Malba Hill, and as we leave, it's always downhill. I got to tell you. No. There's a lot of philosophy in that. Yeah. Coming back to the intellectual rising of my persona.
Excellent.
Thank you. And that's the only rising you'll get. Move on.
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, don't be sexist. I hate that thing.
Question 2.
Yes.
What advice would you give to 18-year-olds like me who are extremely tense about our future?
Oh, God, don't even think about it. It's so bleak. I just mentioned it. There's nothing to think about. It's terrible. I suppose life is all about, you have to be sort of drunk. If you look at the disparity in income, the issues that are there, you look at the Kenya bombings and the killings and things like that. I mean, every week it's becoming par for the course. So if you look at life properly, I think we're all finished. There's just nothing positive to look at because there's just so many problems and you can just see the issues and conflicts. And it's not just about between people. So I say you got to pretend to be drunk.
Wow.
I've been doing a good job. 30 years, I have no idea. I'm insensitive to all pain. I don't even empathize with anybody. People fall in the road in front of me and I just go over them with the car saying, oops, sorry. And I move on.
All right, Blasticity, I'm going to apologize for that answer.
No, but it's true. You have to, if you want to be, it's like a vaccination. You want to be immune, otherwise you're finished.
That's the advice you're giving him?
I don't want to be a philosopher. I'm just saying that life sucks. So the best thing you can do is try and put on a happy face, pull your ears and let your tongue stick out.
Okay then. Question 3. I don't even know if he'll want to listen to any more
Charlie, are
of
you
this.
feeling depressed after what I said?
If I were 18 years old, I would be crying now. I would be bawling my eyes out.
But that could be hormonal,
That's so sexist.
No, males too.
Males
I was
too.
18 once. I tried from 16. I stopped at 18 for 2 minutes. And then I resumed. And I haven't stopped since.
Oh.
Thank you.
Question 3.
Now we're going to pathos. We moved from depression. We never had comedy, but we got the other emotions.
We're going to do this as like a rapid fire round.
Oh, God, what am I?
Yeah, because you've got 3 more questions. So
Go on.
Give me like a
Can I
2-word
answer
answer.
the question before the question is asked? Okay, my answer is blue. Next one.
No,
Yellow.
it doesn't
Third
work.
one, up. No, it doesn't work? Okay.
What's the profession you respect the most?
Out of work actors. I think that's just very special. I believe as we age, out of work actors and entertainers look around to see if people recognize them. I've seen that. I'm waiting for that. That's going to be a great period. When you go to a restaurant and you're sort of trying to make eye contact, hoping somebody says, oh, that's a terrible thing. No, but professions? What professions are there? It's like 2.5. Doctor, lawyer, engineer. I don't know if there's even any more than that. What do you respect? By the way, we've not got your opinions at all. Yes, this question is yours.
Ask me anything is for Cyrus.
No.
Blasticity doesn't care about me.
Of course he cares about you.
No. Trust me. He doesn't.
It's a female voice. He's an Indian male. It's normal. Go ahead. Answer. Give me 2 professions you
2
like.
professions. I think teachers.
Oh, God. They get no money. That's the
They
worst
get no
job.
money and they don't get any respect.
No respect.
But it's a
And then when you're
huge
dying,
responsibility.
when you're dying, you feel really bad and say, oh, Mrs. Sharma, why did I make fun of you? For 2 minutes you feel bad. And then if you recover, you again start making fun of her. This is not right.
No.
Next, give me one more.
Veterinarians.
I love them. That's good. That's the only thing I'll ever fight for. Animals. Move on.
Okay. Question 4. Who's your favorite comedian and actor in India and outside India? This is a double whammy question.
Yeah.
Favorite Indian comedian, favorite non-Indian comedian?
My favorite Indian comedian is Kunal Vijayakar because I've never seen anyone hate his work so much. And I think that alone tells you he's a true artist. He hates coming to work. He hates doing a second take. He's invented some of the great philosophical lines of our art form, if you can be called that, which is things like my first take is my last take. My second take is my first take. You know, he said all kinds of crazy things like that. He's also, I remember we've said wrong lines and he said cut and we say we haven't said the right line. He says doesn't matter. You know, and he's taken it all to another level. So I respect him the most because he's hilarious. Yesterday, and I'm not kidding about this, may I be struck dead if I'm lying. We came back from the airport, picked up my kids and my wife, in that order, and we were driving back and at Haji Ali, a lady with roses was knocking on his door. For 40 minutes, Kunal in the front seat was playing with the phone and not talking to anyone. He suddenly tells my kids, start talking to me, she's irritating me, I want to get rid of her. You know, once there were these people sleeping, slum dwellers sleeping on the road in Cuff Parade, and of course they'd taken up half the road. You know, I mean, that is a pain in the, trying to drive. Fair enough. But they are human beings. And they're lying there, and he looks at me without any remorse, without any sense of comedy, because he's not like that. He's not a funny guy. He's just being honest. And he says, if I run over them, won't I make their lives better? This is the kind of person I have to put up with. About 6 years ago, this is something I do when I do stand-up, and I can talk about him and people know who he is, but it's all true. We're driving a car, going down the slope at Kemp's Corner, where the Dungarwadi, where the Parsis, dispose of the dead in South Bombay. So we go down that slope, and it's a huge, long signal for 5 minutes for whatever reason. I think they want you to finish with your activities on the left. And so we're going down the slope, and he's eating butterscotch. I'm driving, and he's just got his Baskin Robbins, one of these fancy brands, and butterscotch. And so the beggar comes, an old lady, very, 12 kilos, not more, maybe 13. I'm sure I'm not lying. All bones. They're all clashing and making sounds and looking terrible. And it's raining, and she's trying to, half a pallu is there, and it's all torn or whatever. And she's knocking. And I said, listen, Kunal, she's looking at you eat. Look at you, you're 99 kilos. Give her the damn ice cream. I can't bear it. Why? So I said, why? Because look at her and look at you. Why? She'll not appreciate butterscotch. If it was vanilla, I'll give it to her. But she'll not understand the difference. I'm not giving her butterscotch. You give her your bloody ice cream. And again, no sense of comedy, but unbelievable. So this is the greatest comedian the world has ever seen, but nobody knows. Not even him.
All right. Should we answer the question about the non-Indian comedian? One word. Give us a name.
Kunal is non-Indian. They traced their descent from the Normans. Okay. After 1066, Battle of Hastings.
I thought you were going to say Martian or something.
A bit like the Bawas from Iran. One boat from Normandy, or rather from England because they just entered, moved from Dover and came all the way down to the Gujarat coast. And they adopted the Marathi ways and Marathi language and all that. But the Pathare Prabhus do trace where he comes from, and I swear by God this is true, their lineage to William the Conqueror. Now don't look at me like that. Do your history, search, check. I don't lie.
I'm just going to roll with that.
Yeah.
Question 5. Also from Blasticity.
Oh my God.
How do you keep up with the news?
Oh, that's easy. There are things called newspapers. There's also internet, and there are all these mediums where you can actually read and find out, and then people tell you, and that's not so difficult.
Okay, good. Yeah. He says, I watch your show, I enjoy it a lot. It's very different from all the shows out there. Only one show slightly outranks it in terms of entertainment value, and that's News Hour, Q Laugh Track. Yeah, please try to remove that. Good show otherwise. Keep up the good work, sir, he says.
Q
Laugh Track. He doesn't want it.
I'm with him. Okay. Again, the Norman is responsible for that William the Conqueror's great grandson. Mm-hmm. So please, more power to you. Let's get rid of the Laugh Track. Let's fight this together, this injustice against our people. Well, what is the other thing he said? News Hour. Hilarious. Great show. A lot of respect. Best comedian in India.
Okay. So Blasticity, you've had more time on our show than even Cyrus has, I think.
God, you're telling me.
All right. We have one question two questions I'm just going to share with you. They're the newest ones, and then we'll go back to a more serious one.
Oh, God.
Okay? So, this is Shrantz says, Hi, Cyrus, are you Tanmay Bhatt? Don't answer that. IIN underscore...
Can I answer that? I don't know. I absolutely don't know. I'm looking for this answer. And now the second one.
IIN underscore IIPM says, is it Gorcha Borcha or Borcha Gorcha?
Well, when we cross the line of actual control, it becomes Gorcha Borcha because they're more comfortable with it from there. But we do Borcha Gorcha up to the Wagah border, and then it changes. But of course, as you reach the steppes of Mongolia, it's totally different. It's a more Hemushel. The whole name changes completely. And as you go up north and take a left and reach Bavaria, it's German, and I'm just called Helmut. And they poke me in the eye. The world is very funny.
Interesting. Main underscore chess says, Hi Cyrus. For net neutrality discussions in USA, the turning point came when comedian John Oliver spent a segment in an episode ripping apart telcos. He also asked people to submit questions on FCC's website, which resulted in millions of comments. This helped in swinging the pendulum in net neutrality's favor, and FCC recommended strictest implementation. In India, we are having a debate about net neutrality.
Don't worry about it. Neutrality is a very difficult word to say.
We're going to edit that out.
Oh, don't do that.
Yes, we are.
I love
right,
it when
Kiran?
people stumble. I see people falling on the road and I clap. Don't do that. Come on. Stumble again. Let's say neutrality.
So mean.
Let's say it 5 times in a row without stopping like it's a limerick. Neutrality, 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 neutrality. Wow. This tongue does a lot of work. I got to tell you, I'm a muscular guy when it comes to tongue.
That reminds me of this Friends episode where Elaine is dating a saxophone player, remember?
Oh, right. And that's her idea of sax? Not good.
Yes.
Sorry.
So, in India, we're having a debate about net neutrality.
Let's just call it double N.
Yeah. In India, we're having a debate about double N. And Try has asked for comments. Can you do a John Oliver for India and support net neutrality?
Yes,
that thing.
Listen,
so he's given you a link to the skit for reference, and he really wants you to take up net neutrality. There,
okay,
I said
all
it.
right. We can. We definitely can because we always need copy, and we got to stop using other people. So fair enough.
WhatsApp apparently is what you
WhatsApp
use.
apparently, which I've never been on and don't even know how to
But
use.
you steal from it.
I do. I should. And now I'm going to steal from him. Thank you so much. So that's what we are going to do that. And we'll send him a credit line as well, or this credit line, depending on which side of the fence you're on.
Main_chess.
Main_chess, which is, by the way, my favorite game. Not because it's a great game of the mind and it challenges you in beyond the realms of imagination, but because I can lie down and play it, which I believe is how sport should be enjoyed. So Chavi's laughed once. So I got one laugh in 1 hour. Which is my normal stand-up comedian performance, I got to tell you. One before the break, one after the break.
Oh, that's sweet.
Thank you.
All right, I think we've wrapped up. We had some 52 questions.
52 questions?
Yeah, you're a champ,
Don
man.
Bradman played 52 test matches. See the parallel? I feel like, oh God, I shouldn't say that. All right. Thank you, Chavi.
You've been a trooper. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And now before we hug on air and, say bye to everybody else, all we'll say is that we have lots of more AMAs coming up.
We do, yeah.
And we want it to be open to beyond my life. Because although that's interesting for my parents, I'm just thinking, let's talk about everything else. We've got topics out there like net neutrality, a word which one day will come easy to everyone all over India, including parts of Jharkhand, where my cousins are, in Jamshedpur. So I'll just say this, that we'll try and keep it open the next time to more and more topics and hopefully larger macro topics and not so much just on me.
And as the new meme says, hi Reddit, easy questions or I'll kiss you. That's what Cyrus Procha is saying.
Okay, you took the words out of my mouth because now that we're engaging in this kissing thing. But think of it this way, Chavi. If the world is kissing, nobody else will be bombing.
This is true.
So I'm up for the kiss thing.
Okay. Make love, not war.
Not always. Have you seen Kunal? God, no, not always.
Cyrus, thanks so much. This was fun to do with you. I don't think I want to do it again.
That's what
I'm Chavi. I'm signing out.
This is the exact line I've heard all my life, and in many departments of life, may I say, including teachers who taught me, and they don't even last more than a day. Imagine leaving the class; it's just disgusting. But thank you, Chavi, because somewhere there was a little praise when you giggled, but that was because I was tickling you, not because of what I said. Yeah, thank you. It's called Cyrus says AMA.
Ask me anything. Yes,
Ask
and
me.
we'll do these periodically. So hang in there.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the IndusVox Media Network or any of our show advertisers or sponsors. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast, obviously.